Good morning and welcome to episode 398, I think, of the show. Now, before we begin, I'd like to apologize because today is another one of those daddy daycare recordings because the midterms are still on and I'm here with the baby of the house. I guess we can be lucky that I only have one of them with me for now because I think starting from Thursday, the kids in primary school are also going to be on midterm as well. So finding a convenient place to record in this house is going to be a nightmare. But anyway, we thank God for the gift of healthy kids, and that's part of the joy of life. So, now on to the recording. Now, today I want us to look at the question if we should always be looking for new customers. Now, the reason why I'm doing this is because I've seen some stuff over on the gram where some people are kind of insinuating that if you're always constantly looking for new customers, then there's something wrong with your business. So, I want to look at those two questions. Should you always be looking for new customers? And if the majority of your business comes from new people that you had to go out and hustle, does that mean it's a bad thing? Now, the answer to the first question, should you always be looking for new customers? The answer is yes, in most cases, because there's a normal rate of attrition that businesses go through, and you have to bring people into the pipeline to accommodate for that. Now, what is attrition? Attrition is the idea that over time people are going to fall away from doing business with you, either because of different factors. Sometimes it's negative experiences or changes in the business or things like that. But the thing is, even if you're absolutely perfect, let's assume that the iPhone is perfect. So even if you're absolutely perfect like the iPhone, some things are going to happen over time. Some people are going to move away. Some people are going to die. I mean, we don't want our customers to die, God willing. But the thing is, death comes for us all. So some people move away. They no longer live in Abuja, and that's the reason why they can't call you up for birthday cakes anymore. Some people die. They're changing personal circumstances. Maybe the kids have grown up and have left the house, and so because of that, the couple don't celebrate parties anymore, and so that's the reason why they're not calling you up to have cakes delivered to the house for birthdays and stuff like that. Their personal changes, sometimes preferences change, and maybe that family that has been calling you for the past 5 years for birthday cakes, now they think that what they want to do for birthday parties is to order in suya, or maybe they want to eat out. So there are loads of different reasons why people are going to leave you, why you're going to have customer attrition, and there is absolutely nothing that you can do about these sorts of things. So there could be more circumstances than that, but these are just a few. If people move away, there's nothing you can do. They used to be based in Abuja, they're now in Port Harcourt. You're a cake artist, you're a cake person, there's nothing you can do. They've moved. If someone dies, there's nothing you can do. The change in personal circumstances that we spoke about, children leaving the house or they want to change their celebration habits, there's absolutely nothing that you can do about that. And so it's the same whether you're a photographer or you're a wedding planner. There are things that are going to happen that you have absolutely no control over. And so there's this normal form of attrition, and that's why we always have to be looking for new business. People move away, we have to be looking for new business. People die, we have to keep looking for new business. There's personal change in personal circumstances, change in preferences. We have to keep looking for new business. So like I said, loads of different reasons why people won't do business with you anymore. But we have to keep bringing people in here because we have to keep the business moving. Now, the second question. Is there a problem if the only source of business that you have is new customers? So in a sense, yes. If you're constantly hustling for new customers and that's the only way you keep a light on, then yes, there probably is a problem. Because when you don't have repeat business and referrals, those are also huge revenue streams. Repeat business and referrals. I know some of you say repeat business and referrals do not apply in the event space, particularly to wedding planners and photographers. But that's something we've dealt with in another episode. And so I'm not going to go over them over here. But in summary, just to say yes, if you keep a flexible point of view, a way of thinking about these things, then you can look for repeat business sources of income. So yes, you're a wedding photographer primarily, and you did the wedding, but then they're going to have the baby, they're going to have the the baby shower, the maternity shoot, the baby birthday, things like that. It's not stuff that you have to do personally yourself. You can get other members of your crew to handle all those other things. You can think about it as a way to expand your business offering, but it doesn't have to be that wedding business is one and done. That we collected the money for the wedding, and because they're not going to get divorced and remarried again, then it doesn't mean that we don't have opportunities for business there. So repeat business can come from those couples. They can refer us to their family members, colleagues at work, things of that nature. And then I've also talked about how I got into the corporate game, doing things for NGOs. And that's because I kept in touch with brides, and eventually the question would turn to things like, do you do the end of year party? Do you do documentaries? Do you do this? Do you do that? And that has been a good source of us getting some extra business as well. So if you think of it in a flexible sense, weddings do not have to be one and done. And if this is your first time listening to the show and you want a much more in-depth treatment of the topic, once you're done listening to this, just check the headings. I can't remember what the title was. I think it was a question: do weddings have to be one and done? So you'll get an in-depth treatment there about how repeat businesses and referrals can also be a significant source of business, even though you are a wedding photographer or you are a wedding planner. So, where was I? Okay, yes. So if you don't have good business from repeat business and referrals, it could be a sign that there is a problem with your product. Maybe your planning services are not up to par. Maybe your photography skills are lacking. Sometimes there's no problem with the product or the service, but maybe the service delivery is the problem. You don't wrap your photo books nicely. You don't talk to people nice over the phone. And so they just want to get the product or the service from you and then leave. So we've entered one chance. We paid her. She's a planner. Well, at least she's competent, even though she's mean. And, once they're done, they leave and they don't want to have anything to do with you again because of your bad bedside manner. So sometimes the problem is with service delivery. And sometimes the problem is with customer service. You don't approach people nice. You don't handle the conversation nice. If there are problems, you don't try to resolve them in an amicable manner. And you don't give a hoot. You've collected your money and, screw you. The problem is with you guys. And sometimes is that you don't have any problems with all these, but that you have a problem with advancing the client relationships. You don't know how to do that, and that's why you're not able to tap into opportunities for repeat business and referrals where people bring their friends, family, and associates. So you can see that if you're not getting people call you up because they were happy with what you did for them last year, and so they want to do business with you again, or they want to hook you up with the chief bridesmaid who is getting married now. So you can see how sometimes it could be a sign that any of these things could be wrong. So for people who are out there on the internet, on the gram, pushing out these sorts of ideas, then yes, they are right, because if you don't have repeat business and referrals, it might be a sign that there are things that are amiss in your business, and you need to figure out what's going on and how to resolve them. Now, how do you know why people are? How do you figure out the problem? How do you diagnose the problem? How do you know if it's that people are moving away, or preferences have changed, or if it's that you have bad customer service, or any other substantial problems that you have with the business? The only way that we can know this is something that I keep talking about time and time again over here on the podcast, and that is that you should be in constant communication with your clients and your past customers. Having conversations and trying to advance client relationships in simple conversational manners is pretty much the soul of everything we discuss over here on the podcast. And I hope if you're a first-time listener, from the things we've spoken about now, you'll be able to appreciate why it is important, being able to carry on conversations, no matter the media that you are involved with. So whether you're using phone calls or face-to-face or Zoom, it's something that's going to save you guys a ton of problems in the future. So we have to be able to diagnose what the problem is, advance the relationship. It has to be simple and conversational. If it's simple and conversational, you are going to do it. Because simple and conversational is not complicated. It's easy to do. And like I said again, it's the soul of everything that we discuss over here on the podcast. So if you're in agreement in a philosophical sense about these sorts of things, then please subscribe to the podcast and we can continue the journey as we're getting near to 400 episodes where we continue to expand on all these things: conversations, sales, selling techniques, relationships, those sorts of things. So, yeah, that's pretty much everything that we discuss here. It was geared towards the art of the conversation and the discipline of sales. So, yeah, so that's it pretty much. We always have to keep looking for customers because unfortunately there are things that are going to happen that we have absolutely no control over. And yes, there are some things that will happen that we have control over. And the skill of having simple conversations is going to will help us sift through what the problem is or what the problems are. But bottom line, for most of us, for different industries, you are going to have to keep looking for new customers over the course of your lifetime or over the course of the business. It's just the way things are. So Coca-Cola has to keep looking for new business. Your friendly neighborhood tailor has to keep looking for new business. The high-end cake artist has to keep looking for new business. What else? I mean, even people who clean sewers and people who take those gigantic trucks to haul away your sewage. They go into septic tanks and haul away sewage. I mean, even they have to look for customers. So ideally, it would be nice if we can have a really good mix where a huge chunk of our revenue comes from people who are bringing us repeat business and who are referring. But we're probably not going to be able to get away. Probably not going to be able to do away with this whole challenge of looking for new customers. So, yeah, buckle up and stay strapped in for the haul. So, thank you very much for listening to today's episode. I'm your host, Abuja-based sales and business consultant Tavishima Ayede. I'm the host of Nigeria's longest running business podcast. Thank you very much for your time and attention. I'll catch you guys at the next recording.